I'm Josh.
I'm Banks, and we are
Extremely odd places going very viral.
on viral. Yeah. Josh, so legal then, legal now. Those are my notes. So back 1840s, 1850s, our country, slavery was legal. That was illegal. You could have slaves. Now, our country has evolved, I guess, to the point where it's against the law to have slaves, any kind of slaves, right?
In a sense, not exactly, but yeah, you can't you're not allowed to physically bind a person to bondage. You're not allowed to physically put another human being into bondage, physical bondage only.
Okay, so we can't go to, let's say, Africa and round up some natives from Africa, put them in a ship, chain them underneath, feed them, and give them water, minimum, bring them across the country and have them work on our farms. We cannot do that now.
Correct, and that's a very narrow definition of slavery, though.
Okay. My point is not so much slavery. My point is that was a law that we had back then. Now that law has changed, and we no longer enslave people in that regard. Okay. So we are at a point now in our lives where it is illegal to sex traffic. Okay, which is a type of kind of like a type of slavery, kind of sexual slavery. Sex slavery. Okay, so we're at a point now where that is illegal. Okay, morally, it is illegal. Morally, not illegal. Morally, it is looked down upon, and it is legally unprohibited. So my question is, will we evolve like we did with that slavery? Will we evolve to the point where this is acceptable? And I'm flipping it backwards.
To where what is acceptable? That
sex trafficking is acceptable.
I don't think so, because you look at history, it's only gone one way, hasn't it? It's gone from everything goes when you're a caveman and cavewoman to, all right, we actually have to have some moral code. So I think we've only gone one direction, haven't we? Have we ever gone backwards on that?
I don't know. Okay, so then what are we doing now? You ready? That is legal, which will be illegal in the future.
Hopefully voter suppression in a democracy. I'm hoping that's one of them. What's illegal now? Sticking people in indentured servitude. That's legal today. I think that hopefully will become illegal.
And that is taking people from another country or having them come over. No, explain that, indentured servitude.
No, raising them to spend money and to buy things and then making them work in a cubicle just to be able to barely afford those things with no chance of ever escaping.
Okay. So that's legal now. That's legal. I mean, okay. Let's take that. What is our option? What are our options in this case?
We can teach financial literacy. We can teach entrepreneurship. We can do things early on to help people progress and not keep them indentured, let's say, not keep them subdued into just becoming an employee only. That's all.
Okay, so who is going to do these jobs then that they're doing that they will do something else?
Oh, there'll always be people to do, as long as there's a need, it'll be filled. It'll be filled by a robot, it'll be filled by a person, or it'll be phased out to new technology. It'll get taken care of.
So you're saying it would be a robot or technology will take care of it. I mean,
oh, and by the way, I'm not saying a job is bad. I want to be very clear about this. Indentured servitude is bad, not a job. You can go into a job for 10 years, get some experience like an apprenticeship, and then move on to your entrepreneurship, move on to your business. Indentured servitude is where you have a job and there is no opportunity beyond that. you've now been conditioned to get stuck in that cycle, the rat race. You can never escape.
All right. So give me an example of a job like that.
Well, it's not the job. It's just your ability to think, to understand money, to understand entrepreneurship, to build a business, to believe in yourself, all of those things that goes into a person who's not stuck in a job. So the job is fine. The job's not the problem. It's, we don't allow people to get beyond that point. We intentionally keep them trapped through predatory lending, all kinds of things to keep you kind of always just behind. You make just enough to just not quite make it.
Okay. So let's look at predatory lending. That is legal now. That is legal. Yeah. I
Some
mean,
of it, yeah.
you go to the, the paycheck, the pay whatever place, and you borrow some money, and then it's 300% you have to pay back.
Right.
And you look at that as predatory lending because it's in certain neighborhoods, or because why? Just because they can get away with it. The government says it's okay.
That's the obvious case of predatory lending. School loans could be another one.
Really? Okay.
Sure. It's all about ROI. It's all about ROI. If the ROI is not there, it's predatory.
Return on investment. I'm learning. You're teaching me return on investment. So if in the issue of education, if you don't get a job that pays for your loans, then or barely, then you're always going to be stuck in that rat race, that hole. So you're saying get rid of predatory lending. You're saying get rid of the mentality of being an indentured servant, correct? The mentality, because you said the job's okay.
Correct. It's how we're conditioned to there's no other choice, right? We don't have any other opportunity. So yeah, I guess it is kind of a mentality. Sure.
So we become accepting to this type of, okay, I'm just gonna barely make it. I'll just barely make it. I'm not gonna get a house, but however, I'm gonna rent and just barely make it. All right, and I guess we're okay with. I mean, in general, some of us are okay with that.
We don't know any better. So of course, I imagine in the 1830s, if you're born as a slave, if you were born into it, you probably didn't know any better. Yeah, maybe it wasn't enjoyable per se, but it was just your place in life. So it doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean we should be doing it. It just, we need to move beyond. We need to progress to evolve.
Right. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine today, and he said, I am so busy, I have no time for my friends. Okay. And he's like, what do I do? And I said, you have to have boundaries and create what you want. However, I have to work. I have to pay off, There it
is.
So you think that's the indentured servitude mentality that he has. I have to work. And that is that is common right now, correct?
Extremely common. The have to's. Yeah. That's, by the way, the have to is the opposite of freedom. So we're supposed to be such a free country. Why are there so many have to's?
And the have to is only the mental capacity. That's just there. I have to work because I've got all these bills. I have to do this. I have to do that. And you bring up a good point about freedom. Freedom has no have to. You just do whatever the heck you want to do.
Correct.
I don't know if I shared this with you. However, during the last 16 months now of COVID, I have been, it's been a freeing experience because I didn't have to go out. I stayed in. I didn't have to do things. I only did things if I wanted to.
Did you have to grow turnips, or did you want to grow turnips?
I wanted to grow turnips. Yeah, turnips were definitely a want. I just wanted to grow anything, actually. Okay. So in the future, you're saying that sex trafficking? I mean, that's what else might be legal? Like marriage, man and woman, and then it progressed to anybody can marry. So I mean, we have changed in that.
I think, I mean, drugs. I see that. I wish we'd end the war on drugs and make drugs legal.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, bleach
Banks.
is legal. Oh, I'm Josh.
I'm odd places. Go in.
Viral.
There we go.